have number 00, Little Lebowski. Number 1105, Barrel Roller. Number 12 is T-Rex. Number 13, Call It a Wild. Number 2 is Critical Tits. Number 26, a guest skater here from the Minnesota Roller Girls, Raichu. Number 262 is Net Splat. Number 270 is Cyanide. Let's hear it for number 5, Miss Mechanics. Number 750 from Naptown is Whiskey Chaser. Number 815 is Antimatter. Number 833 is Honey Beast. Number 8990 is Frankie Fatale. And number 9160 is Holly Hood. Let's hear it for your Reservoir Dolls. Tonight, your Reservoir Dolls are supported on the bench by Lady Hoo-Ha, the Mean Queen, Bomb Chew, Melee, and Full Frontal Judity.
All right, Madison, it's my pleasure to introduce the Mean Machine in green, the Quad Squad. All right, we got number 101, Quilla DeVille. Number 11, Elf. 111, Lex Ernitas. Number 120, Battle Frog. Number 141, Hammer Abby. Number 18, Alligator. Number 215, Booty Collins. 25, Tuna Fey. 273, Crystal Ice. Number 4, Mickey Barrage. 48, Tornado Alley. 52, Sequin Destroyer. 5388, Dark Horse. We got number 7, Wendy, You Wanna Die? Number 796, Conan, the Librarian. Number 8, Kentucky Fried Carnage. We got number 81, Gouda Riddance. Number 9, Kenna Vendetta. Number 906, Super Yooper. Number 918, Pied Typer. All right, those are your skaters for the Quad Squad tonight. On the bench, they're supported by Mac the Knife, Ironside, Little Misses, and Hazer. Let's hear it for the Quad Squad.
You're watching local Madison Roller Derby here. We got a match between the Quad Squad and the Reservoir Dolls trying to ease their way into the playoffs happening next month right here in Madison, Wisconsin. We are at the Alliant Energy Center. The one seed in the playoffs is going to be the Unholy Rollers. When we get down to the 2 through 4 seeds, it's getting into tiebreakers here. So this is a must-win here. You don't want to have to play the Unholy Rollers in the playoff round here as we get lined up.
That's right. I'm Assassinate, and
I'm Bryant Mumble, by the way, yes. I don't feel important. I think the Derby is important, so that's what I try to focus on.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
We're lining up our first jam already here. We got number 9 out there for the Quad Squad. That's Kenna Vendetta. And Nat Splat out there for the Reservoir Dolls in black. The Quad Squad in green. The defending Leggy champions. The Leggy trophy on the line this and every year with the Madison Roller Derby.
That's right. Both teams coming in here with 1 win and 1 loss for the season.
Vendetta, Kenna Vendetta through on the inside. Lead jammer for the Quad Squad. Trying to put the first points up on the board for the team in green. There's a multiplayer block in the mix. There's something like a Red Rover call. You cannot be linked if that link is engaged. It is a multiplayer block. And we get our first points on the board. 4 points for Kenna Vendetta and 2 points for Nat Splat in that jam.
That's right. And if this is your first time watching roller derby, the skaters with the stars on their helmet are the ones who can score points. The advantage of being the first jammer out of the pack gives you the title of lead jammer, and they are the person who gets to call off the jam. But both jammers earn points.
You can stop the jam if you have that lead jammer status. Right now, we have
that looks like
Dark Horse for the Quad Squad up against Call of the Wild for the Reservoir Dolls, but Dark Horse is your lead jammer for the Quad Squad. On a scoring pass now, hitting that pack. You see contending with those 3 blockers there. Trying to get past. You get a point for every hip you pass of the opposing team. So a total of 4 points is possible on a pass.
All right, a quick 4 points for Dark Horse, and she calls off that jam.
We're watching local Madison Roller Derby, but we also have travel team Madison Roller Derby. The Dairyland Dolls is the all-star travel team of this Madison Roller Derby, and they have a big event coming up in early April 5th through 7th at the Haymeyer Ice Arena right here in Madison, Wisconsin. They're going to take on 3 other teams in the WFTDA. We'll talk more about that in just a few seconds here as we have Hammer Abby out there jamming for the Quad Squad in green.
And that is Holly Hood skating for the Reservoir Dolls in black.
And so far the Quad Squad get lead jam again as Hammer Abby, the lead jammer status. I believe that's 3 already lead jammers for the Quad Squad. Holly Hood was able to get through on her initial pass. She's eligible to score for her next pass. Hammer Abby trying to get through on the scoring pass. She does, calls off the jam by tapping her hips, and the jam ends after 4 quick whistle blasts from the referee. We were talking about Utter Chaos, which is the event coming up April 5th through 7th. The Dairyland Dolls are going to take on Ann Arbor, who is currently ranked 25 in the WFTDA, Naptown ranked 28th, and Rocky Mountain ranked 41. The Madison Roller Derby currently ranked 39 in the WFTDA. 28 is the cutoff for playoffs, and Madison definitely want to improve their ranking and make it into Division I playoffs this year. As we have a jam underway here, Riot Chu, the guest skater from Minnesota, coming in and getting lead jammer status for the Reservoir Dolls up against Pied Typer. Riot Chu on the scoring pass now. Calling off the jam. Let's see, did she do so? 1 point for each team. I'm sorry, 2 points for the Quad Squad, actually. So
1
Riot
point
Chu
for
actually lost the jam.
We want to thank one of our sponsors, Union Cab. Let Union Cab help you get through the jam.
All right. I want to talk about Javon Al-Yasseri. Thank you to our sponsor, Javon Al-Yasseri, psychotherapist with Madison Expressions Therapy. For over a decade, Javon has provided supportive, client-focused, general mental health counseling for individuals, couples, and families in the LGBTQ community and their allies. Javon also specializes in providing gender identity counseling services for the transgender and gender non-conforming populations, taking an affirming approach toward each client's gender expression and goals. Private pay and sliding scale fee scales are available. For more information and to schedule a free phone intake appointment, please visit Javon's website at MadisonExpressionsTherapy.com. Let's get back to the action.
Quella DeVille is your lead jammer and racking up points for the quad squad in green. Quickly got through for lead jammer status. She's up against Nat Splat jamming for the Reservoir Dolls. She has star in hand. If you don't get lead jammer status, you'll often see the jammer take the star off. They can pass the star to the pivot. That's the skater with the stripe cap. So you see Nat Splat out there now near the pivot, but she's going to elect to keep it, and she's going to put that star back on her head as she clears the pack. But she cut the track, so she's going to go to the penalty box. She passed the skater that knocked her out of bounds.
That's right, leaving this. This is Ian's Pizza Power Jam, but Quilla DeVille will call it off, freezing the Reservoir Dolls jammer in the Delta Beer Lab change cage.
That's the penalty box for this bout. That's what we're calling it, the Delta Beer Lab change cage. We see our penalty board here. You see only 2 penalties so far. That's on the Reservoir Dolls side. You see the X, that's a cutting the track penalty, and I believe the M is a multiplayer block. I'm not really up on my penalties. I should be.
It is, I'm getting confirmation that it is multiplayer block.
I was right. You think I should know these things. As we get a lead jammer for the quad squad.
That's Dark Horse. Nay, she says,
right,
as she passes, takes lead jammer status, and approaches for her first scoring pass.
Quad squad with an early lead in this one, but scoring can come in bunches. As Dark Horse.
Will the Reservoir Dolls blockers stop her from scoring? Nay.
Ha-ha. Right you are, Assassinate. As Dark Horse on another scoring pass. Nat Splat coming through on the initial pass. Tiptoeing on the outside. She still in the pack, and now she's clear on the initial pass. And Dark Horse is going to call off the jam by tapping her hips, ending the jam there. Quad squad with a comfortable lead early going here, 30-3. We'd like to thank Union Cab. Download Union Cab's app and get on track for convenience. Save your favorite locations, pay and tip inside the app, the Union Cab app.
All right, you're watching Madison Roller Derby. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. You're watching Madison Roller Derby. We're here at the Alliant Energy Center. We are watching the Quad Squad take on the Reservoir Dolls. And Call It Wild is out there jamming for the Reservoir Dolls in black. Hammer Abbey is jamming in green for the Mean Green Machine.
And Hammer Abbey quickly got lead jammer status and is already through on a scoring pass. As Call It Wild approaching on her scoring pass. We'll see how Hammer Abbey plays this. She's going to keep it going here. Looking to extend the jam. So 1 scoring pass apiece. Hammer Abbey on the 2nd scoring pass now. And she does call it off before the 2nd scoring pass begins for the Quad Squad. So it ends up being an 8-4 jam in favor of the team in green. We'd like to thank Saturn's 8. DJ Andrew Larson is here in-house at the Alliant Energy Center. He is of Saturn's 8 Entertainment. He provides the soundtrack for people of Madison with retro flair and modern edge. That's Saturn's 8. As we begin the next jam, we're going to have Pied Piper out there for the team in green. And Holly Hood is your lead jammer for the Reservoir Dolls, looking to cut into this gap here. Down 38-7. The Res Dolls need some points.
That's right. Holly Hood, this is Holly Hood's rookie season with the Reservoir Dolls.
The rookie gets taken down hard on the backstretch. I believe that was Little Lebowski with the take. I'm sorry, no, that was not Little Lebowski with the takeout.
That was the 2nd Reservoir Dolls lead for the for the bout.
Lead jam, yes.
Lead jam.
So 3-1 in the jam.
All right, lining up, we've got Raichu visiting from Minnesota, skating against Willa DeVille in green.
Both jammers had lead jammer status in their last jam. They obviously did not go against each other, however. As you see, Raichu trying to battle through. One blocker to beat up front. And Raichu is through. Lead jammer goes to the Reservoir Dolls. That's 2 in a row for the Reservoir Dolls. And it's a power jam opportunity as we had a cutting the track penalty on Quilla DeVille.
That's right, Quilla DeVille heading to the Delta Beer Lab change cage.
So the Ian's Pizza Power Jam here for Raichu. Just what the Reservoir Dolls needed to try to narrow this gap. Already 4 points, and now on the second scoring pass here. Picking her way through the pack. 8 points so far for Raichu. You see the Quilla DeVille coming back onto the track out of the Delta Beer Lab change cage. And you see Raichu trying to pick and choose a path through that staunch wall.
That's right, it's a moving wall of green. Lexi Turnitas cycles Raichu back, but Raichu calls off the jam.
A nice healthy jam there for the Reservoir Dolls. A 12-point jam, 39-22 now on the scoreboard, narrowing the gap just a little bit there.
12 much needed points. Who do we have lining up here? We've got, is that Kenna Vendetta and Nat Splat?
It is indeed. Let's see if Nat Splat can keep the momentum going here for the Reservoir Dolls, or if Kenna Vendetta can get things back on track for the Mean Green Quad Squad. Kenna Vendetta tiptoe on the outside line, able to stay in bounds and through. Lead jammer Kenna Vendetta for the Quad Squad. You see Nat Splat still battling on the backstretch as Kenna Vendetta quickly gets through, calls it off right away. Let's see how many points there for Kenna Vendetta. She got a little confused there. I think she didn't realize. She's shaking her head there. I think it ends up being a 0-0 jam. Called it off a little too soon there. We'd like to thank WORT 89.9 FM, listener-sponsored community radio in Madison. Tune in any time of day or night to hear the great alternative music, news, and public affairs programming. Schedule live streaming, podcasts, and program archives at WORTFM.org.
That's right, and Kenna Vendetta did get 1 point last jam. All right, we've got Call It the Wild is your lead jammer in black for the Reservoir Dolls. She is jamming against Hammer Abby, skating for the Mean Green Machine.
The Reservoir Dolls still have a little bit of momentum going here. Call It a Wild with control here. Oh, she's going to the penalty box, however, cutting the track penalty. So Hammer Abby, I spoke too soon. Hammer Abby on the power jam here, the Ian's Pizza Power Jam. That was a scoring pass already for Hammer Abby. We're gonna go the full 2 minutes in this jam, as we lost our lead jammer status.
That's right, Mumble. When there is no lead jammer, the jam will automatically go the full 2 minutes.
As we're going to see here, Hammer Abby on the second scoring pass. I believe another 4 points, 8 so far for Hammer Abby. As Call It a Wild coming out of the penalty box on a scoring pass.
But Hammer Abby scoots right on through, gets another 4 points.
Call It a Wild taking a pounding in the pack, taking a flurry of hits as Hammer Abby hits the pack again. You see at the back, picking the way through. Big points for the Quad Squad in this one, 16 so far.
Yeah, that's right, holding Reservoir Dolls to 0 points so far on this jam.
See the clock winding down here. Let's see how many more points can be scored by Hammer Abby going to the penalty box here. She's going to start the next jam in the penalty box. That'll be a good opportunity for the Reservoir Dolls, and we'll see how many points. Let's see, one more point.
That's right, and I think this is a good time to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Madison Roller Derby. All right, and we're back. Thank you. We're watching Madison Roller Derby. We're here at the Alliant Energy Center. We are watching the Reservoir Dolls take on the Quad Squad.
And we're going to have a power start here for the Reservoir Dolls as we rejoin the action. I believe that's Holly Hood on the line, if I'm not mistaken.
That is right. Rookie Holly Hood.
She got lead jam her last time out. Let's see if she can match that in the power start. The Ian's Pizza Power Jam underway. Holly Hood has cleared the pack. Lead jammer status goes to Holly Hood and the Reservoir Dolls. Trying to cut into this lead of the Quad Squad. Let's see, there is a penalty in the mix. It is on Holly Hood. Let's see, I believe a cutting the track penalty. Hammer Abby out of the penalty box now. Through on the initial pass. We're gonna lead jammer going to Hammer Abby.
That's right. I believe Holly Hood had done a track cut before.
As Holly is in the penalty box or the that change page, just as Hammer Abby was to me. So Hammer Abby and the Quad Squad now with Ian's Pizza Power Jam. And they each have their own Ian's Pizza Power Jam. That's right, Ian's Pizza, one of our great sponsors, of Madison Roller Derby. Ian's Pizza has 2 downtown locations.
65-26 on the scoreboard, and we're going to have an official review called. One of the teams has challenged something on the track.
That's right. This is a Bear and Bottle timeout. Bear and Bottle sponsoring all the timeouts for this game.
Right, you are, Assassinate. We will find out momentarily what this official review is.
Let's talk about, let's thank you to Fast Forward Skate Center, Madison's #1 roller skating rink. Join them all year round for open roller skating, birthday parties, and private parties. A full concession stand and arcade is available. And don't forget, Fast Forward Skate Center is the official practice facility of Madison Roller Derby.
We're looking at the next lineup on the track out there, getting ready for the next jam. As this local play here, as I get excited for the travel team. The Dairyland Dolls is the Madison travel team, and they're taking on some great opponents here at the Haymeyer Ice Arena, April 5th through 7th. Make sure you mark your calendars, roller derby fans. Utter Chaos is back. Come watch your Dairyland Dolls All-Stars face off against opponents from across the country in a weekend of hard-hitting action. Tickets on sale now on our website under events, Utter Chaos, and that's madisonrollerderby.org/utterchaos.
That's right. Utter spelled like the way the thing cows have.
Yes.
And this is, I'd like to, yeah, and once again, that's at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena.
Did I say it wrong? Of course I did.
Penalty
on
right.
me. I'm
Penalty
racking
on
up
you.
a lot of penalties. As we haven't had too many penalties in this game so far. Only one penalties. No one has more than one penalty in this game. As an official has come over to the announcer's table here and is informing our producer what the official review is about. It is called by the Reservoir Dolls, by the way. They have called the official review. And we're lining up for the next jam.
Say it again.
There was a challenge of a low block call out there. Assassinate, do you have the official word?
Yes, the Reservoir Dolls were challenging a no call, low block, and that was upheld. There were some other details. but I promptly forgot them.
So the Reservoir Dolls thought there was a low block penalty, and the referee said no, there wasn't a low block penalty. So they lose their review, and we rejoin the action in the next jam. We got Riot Shoe for the Reservoir Dolls in black, and Pied Piper is your jammer for the Quad Squad in green. As you see, Pied Piper, she is lead jammer. She got knocked out of bounds and recycled back, but she does have lead jammer status. Riot Shoe takes the star off. She's trying to pass it. She did not. She dropped the star. It's on the ground. Only the jammer can pick up the star if it's on the ground. And nice move on the outside to get through, but lead jammer is through. Pied Piper looking to score some points here. Coming up on the pack, trying the inside, tiptoeing, and down. Let's see. She did get knocked out of bounds. She's going to recycle back. Riot Shoe on a scoring pass. See, number 5 making her presence known. Miss Mechanics taking down a blocker for the Quad Squad. 4-2 in the jam in favor of the Quad Squad.
So we've got Nat Splat lining up now for the Reservoir Dolls in black. Who do we have lining up for the Quad Squad?
I'm going to have to wait a second to find that out. I believe that's Quilla DeVille.
That is Quilla DeVille.
Yes, indeedy.
It sure is. A game like this can change in a matter of jams.
Quilla DeVille is through for lead jammer status around the outside, looking to extend the lead for the Quad Squad. Nat Splat is through on the initial pass, trying to keep the pressure on. And Quilla DeVille right up the middle, powers through, calls it off. A quick 4 points for the Quad Squad. We'd like to thank Jim's Coins in Hilldale. Cash in today, top prices for coins, jewelry, and more. Jim's Coins in Hilldale. Jim's Coins in Hilldale. Oh, that's fun. Jim's Coins and precious metals in Hilldale Mall. What? Is that how it goes?
Sure. Let's say that's how it goes.
Okay. As we line up for the next jam. Let's see, who do we have in the jam line?
Call It a Wild skating for the Reservoir Dolls in black. And I believe that's Dark Horse skating for the Quad Squad in green.
Quilla DeVille to the penalty box there. I didn't see the call. I think it was a track cut. I'm not sure. I'll try to clarify. Lead jam goes to Dark Horse of the Quad Squad, looking to extend that lead for the team in green. And Dark Horse approaching the pack on the scoring pass, weaving through, takes a hit from number 12 of the Reservoir Dolls. That's T-Rex, the rookie out there. Let's see, Dark Horse finds some room on the inside, through on the scoring pass. 4 points so far for Dark Horse as Quilla DeVille comes out of, I'm sorry, that's not the right name. Call It a Wild comes out of the penalty box for the Reservoir Dolls. Penalty on me.
Penalty on you.
Yes, indeed.
So far, all of the Reservoir Dolls jammer penalties have been for track cuts.
They're going to have to watch that as the game progresses, if they're going to have a chance to come back in this one, as Dark Horse racking up some big points here. Double digits, 12 points so far, and looking for more. And looks like we do have a star pass to the captain, number 5, the pivot, Miss Mechanics, who's still on that initial pass for the Reservoir Dolls. She does don the star there.
That's right. Dark Horse racking up another 4 points.
20 so far and more coming. She's got 10 seconds left here in the jam as Miss Mechanics going to the penalty box. Things falling apart here for the Reservoir Dolls. Miss Mechanics through, time up, 2 minutes are up. A huge 24-point jam for the Quad Squad, extending their lead. 10 points, 10 minutes remaining in the first half of play here. The Quad Squad are going to get a power start, and Ian Pizza powered start in the next jam there for Hammer Abbey. We'd like to thank Super Duper, super quick printing of posters, handbills, flyers, whatever you need printed. Super friendly service, conveniently located in Madison's East Side. Facebook and web at superduper.net.
And that's spelt like Fruit Loops is, like with the two O's.
Super Duper. Hammer Abby is your lead jammer. Jumping apexes.
Apex
And
jump.
racking up points, 4 points so far. The quad squad cross the century mark.
That's right. I don't know if it's points or Dalmatians, but they've got them.
It was 101, now 105.
Miss Mechanic's back out on the track.
I believe apex jumping again for Hammer Abby. It's working. She calls it off. A nice jam there for Hammer Abby and the quad squad. I believe there's a stoppage of play out there, I believe. I heard some whistles.
This is an official timeout. This timeout brought to you by Bear and Bottle.
Might be a good time to take a break here. You are watching Madison Roller Derby. We're rejoining the action here. We're currently in an official timeout.
That's right. We are watching Madison Roller Derby. We are watching the Reservoir Dolls take on the Quad Squad. And like my colleague Mumble said, we are on official timeout right now.
Yes, indeedy we are. As the Zebra is trying to get things straight. We see our teams lined up, ready for the next jam. They're ready to go in jam number 16 of the first half. Getting down to the music of DJ Andrew Larson of Saturn 8 Entertainment. Our local teams, they play together, they practice together.
They dance together.
Yes, indeed, they do. Have I talked too much about the utter chaos?
No, I think you should bring it up again. Talk about utter chaos.
I keep talking about utter chaos. It's our travel team, the Dairyland Dolls, taking on 3 other teams April 5th through 7th at the, how do you say it, Hate Marker?
Hartmeyer Ice Arena.
Hartmeyer Ice Arena.
But they won't be on ice.
Out of Madison.
Yeah.
I will be kicked out of Madison if I keep destroying the pronunciation of the Hartmeyer Arena.
You were just added to the stable of announcers for that one.
I was. I'll be there on Sunday on the 7th as Nat Splat is your lead jammer for the Reservoir Dolls.
That's right. Pied Typer is the jammer for the Quad Squad. Not the lead jammer, but she is out of the pack and ready to start scoring.
You see Nat Splat is getting called on the cut. I didn't think she would get that call, but she did get called on the cut. So a power jam opportunity here for the Quad Squad. And the pivot of the Slionide wanted a track cut call of her own there. But Pied Typer adjusted, and you're allowed to, if you do cut, you can quickly adjust and retreat back, recycle back, you're fine.
If you do check yourself, before you wreck yourself.
Right.
Is what.
Well put.
Yeah, I wrote that. All right, Nat Splat back out of the penalty box, back out of the Delta Beer Lab change gauge.
Nat Splat taking a pounding out there. Trying to get through on the initial pass as Pied Typer gets through on her first scoring pass. 3 points on the pass. Oh, I know, 4 points on the pass. Oh, that was a scoring pass for Nat Splat as well. I was wrong again. I got 3 penalties so far on myself.
If you foul out, will it just be me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to start.
Nat Splat. Spinorama trying on the outside through. Let's see, Nat Splat putting up big points here.
Yeah.
12-4 so far in the jam.
What I like about Nat Splat is whenever she gets through the pack like that, she has these huge smiles on her face. Like she knows what she just did, and she knows it was awesome.
Right you are, Assassinate. As 2 more points go on the board for the Quad Squad. A 12-6 jam in favor of the Reservoir Dolls. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. A pretty good lead here for the Quad Squad, but the Reservoir Dolls trying to chip away at it here. As we're going to get Call It a Wild out there jamming for the Reservoir Dolls, trying to build some momentum here. I believe on a power start, an Ian Pizza power jam underway.
Right, let's see if she can take advantage of this, try to even the scoreboard out a little bit.
I didn't see Pied Typer went to the penalty box at the end of the last jam. I didn't see the call.
All the while still working her way through the pack.
Call it a Wild, trying to push up forward. This staunch defense from the quad squad holding her off.
She's treading water. Pied Piper gets a chance to come back out.
The initial pass for Pied Piper. You see at the back there now, contending with that wall of black. Call it a Wild, recycled back. We'll try again. Gets taken down quickly on the outside.
I feel like the music is very appropriate right now.
Pied Piper is through on the outside, and the initial pass trying to keep the pressure on. Can score the next time through. As Call It a Wild gets through on that scoring, just gets lead jammer status now.
I'm not sure. Later on, we'll review the tape and we'll learn how that
Right.
worked, how that
How
happened.
that went down. Call It a Wild on the scoring pass.
That's right. Call It a Wild takes 4 points.
Pied Piper gets recycled on the outside, and we'll try again as she has to come in behind the captain, number 5, Miss Mechanics. And
Takes her helmet cover off, changes her mind.
you can pass the start to the pivot. She elects not to. And 2 minutes are up. That's going to end the jam there. A little chaotic jam, but it ends up just being a 6-4 jam in favor of the Reservoir Dolls. We'd like to thank Daydream Properties, making your dreams of home ownership a reality. Daydream Properties.
Daydream Properties, I believe, owned by 2 former members of the Quad Squad.
And we're underway in jam number 19 of the first half of play here. Holly Hood is the jammer for the Reservoir Dolls, and she is your lead jammer.
That's right. She's followed hot on her wheels, Quilla DeVille.
Holly Hood calling out to her some instructions to her team as she calls off the jam. Quella DeVille hit the pack. Did she score any? I think she.
I think it's a 1 point.
Is that a 1?
I think it's a 1. I see.
It's 1-1 in the jam. Ends up being an even jam.
I was just kidding. Holly Hood got 2 points there.
Haha. Yeah.
That was
2-1.
just that was a test to our viewers. See if you are paying attention.
I was not. As number 26, Raichu, out there for the Reservoir Dolls against Kenna Vendetta for the Quad Squad. Raichu near the front, Kenna Vendetta fighting as well. Both jammers escape, but Raichu is your lead jammer for the Reservoir Dolls. Both jammers roaring around the track.
That's right. This is a jammer race right now.
Kenna Vendetta sticking right with Raichu. Good. Raichu just going to call off the jam. Too much pressure from Kenna Vendetta. We'd like to thank UW Health, Unity Point Health. Can you say that for me? Meritor and Quartz?
Yep. UW Health, Unity Point Health, Meritor and Quartz. Meritor, they are committed to the health of our community and proud to support Madison Roller Derby.
Well, that's awesome. As we have Hammer Abby on the line for the Quad Squad, up against Nat Splat for the Reservoir Dolls in black. Nat Splat trying the outside, able to keep her feet moving and get through for lead jammer status. Are the Reservoir Dolls building momentum here down the stretch of the first half? Hammer Abby through on the initial pass. Nat Splat got recycled back on the outside. You see Hammer Abby keeping that pressure on, coming up on her scoring pass. Skips the apex.
That's right.
As we get a nice hit from number 7, Wendy You Wanna Die on Nat Splat, recycling Nat Splat back.
Hammer Abby coming up for another scoring pass here.
And let's see, a nice recycling hit from Sly and I to the Reservoir Dolls on Hammer Abby. Nat Splat got a 3-point pass, and then she's going to call off the jam. Hammer Abby with 2 scoring passes. 8-3, despite not having lead jammer. Hammer Abby's got to be happy with that one.
All right, we've got lining up here. It looks like we've got Quilla DeVille lining up in green for the quad squad.
We're looking at the pack here. The penalty, you're seeing the penalty box is empty there in that shot as we join the action in the jam.
I'm sorry, and that is Call It Wild on with the Reservoir Dolls in black. But it is Quilla DeVille, your lead jammer in green.
The quad squad looking to extend their lead in this jam. Quilla DeVille hits the pack. Has some room on the outside and through. 4 points for Quilla DeVille. Call It a Wild getting held up by the quad squad. The quad squad do lose a blocker to the penalty box. The Delta Beer Lab change cage penalty box. Quilla DeVille through. Oh, she cut the track. She was not through. She had a cutting the track penalty, so now we're going to go the full 2 minutes. Call It a Wild has an opportunity here. She has the star in hand. She's wearing the blue helmet. As she gets taken down, I think she was still in bounds. Can keep going forward. Kenna Vendetta thought she went out, but Call It a Wild knew. Trying to push that blocker outside the engagement zone. The blockers must be within 20 feet of the pack. And I think one of those blockers was outside of that engagement zone, went to the penalty box.
Yep, that would be Sequin Destroyer heading to the Delta Beer Lab change cage. Quilla DeVille back out of the aforementioned change cage.
And she's going back to that with a forearm penalty. Back to the Delta Beer Lab change cage. So Call It a Wild. She gets through on the scoring pass. Got to keep it going here. 10 seconds remaining in the jam. Can Call It a Wild score anymore? She's got, let's see, time running out. Can she get a point? 0 points on the jam.
0 points on the jam, but it will hold on when we come back for the second half. It will hold Quilla DeVille in the penalty box. We are at the half.
Right, the quad squad out with a pretty comfortable lead here, 136-51. We're looking at our penalties here. 3 penalties out there. Quilla DeVille, the jammer, and Sequin Destroyer, 3 penalties for the blocker of the quad squad. Looking at the Reservoir Dolls side, you got Barrel Roller with 3 penalties as a blocker. And a lot of penalties out there for the quad squad, but they're racking up points as well, so it's not really holding them back too much.
That's right. We'll see what happens on the second half and what adjustments each team makes.
Right. You are Assassinate.
All right. We'll be. I guess let's take off. Let's go.
My name is Natalie Hinckley, owner of Hinckley Productions. I've been doing video since I was a kid. Now I've built this video production company, and for the past 10 years, I get to do what I love every single day. We partner with clients to tell their stories, shooting and editing videos for many brand names that you'd recognize and local businesses alike. In short, video spots used online, through social media, and broadcast. The live production division of the business utilizes multi-camera switching, projection, and live streaming. We have 2 studio locations, one in Madison, the other one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Here we meet with clients, we edit all of our videos, and we also house our production equipment. Now most of our shoots are done on location. We can shoot here or access larger facilities as needed. We have a number of different cameras to work with depending on your job requirements. Everything from a simple GoPro to a high frame rate 4K camera. When you see our van rolling through town, you'll know that we've got all the right tools to get the job done. Hinckley Productions is built upon authenticity, diversity, reliability, and quality. We hope to work with you on your next project.
Madison Roller Derby is a community of strong, independent, amazing people that are not only athletes but also committed volunteers and staff, recreational skaters, competitive interleague skaters, and we have been part of this league and part of this community for now going on 15 years.
It's fun, it's entertaining, it's something that we are really proud to be a part of. I think within that, the love and empowerment that comes from playing this sport is this responsibility to give back to our community and support the growth and success of Madison, which encompasses Madison Roller Derby.
I grew up playing a lot of sports, but never really felt like I entirely belonged or fit in or could be myself, and Derby felt like a place that combined all of the things that I loved socially, being able to be openly queer and kind of punk rock, but also a serious athlete.
There's just an incredible range of personalities, people from different backgrounds, different careers. There's so many connections here with roller derby.
It's just been something where I've been challenged in every single aspect of my life, and it always comes back to Derby teaching me a lesson, teaching me that I can be better.
Every year we get a new crew in, and every year you get to see them experience roller derby, help them learn how to be leaders.
I love that community outreach has always been part of MRD's mission and vision from the beginning, because I think our founders and even now we recognize that we don't exist in a vacuum, and every one of us comes from different parts of the community.
We're a part of Madison and we live here. We are parents, we are neighbors, we're students. It's important that we recognize that and make sure that we are giving back as much as we are getting from the community that surrounds us.
Over the past 15 years, we've donated over $80,000 to nonprofits and have spent thousands of hours working in Madison communities and other Wisconsin nonprofits in the area.
We're building an army of amazing people that want to do more for the community, and every year we grow. We're trying to grow along with Madison in a positive way.
Right now, Madison Roller Derby really needs your help to continue rolling forward. Our mission is very important to us, and we hope to continue that long into the future. But right now, we need a new home for both our growth and our current membership.
Having a building of our own means we can create a much better fan experience, because we hope to not only have our practices there, but hopefully also host games. We can host more games, different kinds of games. We can bring in more community partners. We can even bring in other community organizations that fit our mission and the space that we have and provide that as a community resource.
If we lost roller derby as an organization and a sport and an opportunity for women, that would be a huge detriment.
We need to raise $500,000, and I know that sounds like a lot of money, but with your help and the community's help, I think that we can get it done. You can become a sustaining member, you can share this video, you can make a larger sum donation. We support all of those options.
We want to continue to grow our mission of being this empowering, inclusive space for people of all identities and backgrounds. So we are now turning to the community and asking humbly for your financial support to help make this thing happen.
We are rejoining the action here for Madison Roller Derby at the Alliant Energy Center. We are joined at the second half of the Quad Squad versus the Reservoir Dolls. The Quad Squad currently winning 136-51. Hammer Abbey is the leader of all point totals with the Quad Squad with 57 points so far in this one. Dark Horse with 100% lead jammer status. She's got 36 points for the Quad Squad. It's a smattering on the Reservoir Dolls, led by Nat Splat with 17 points.
Yeah, that's right. Followed up by Raichu with 15 points, Call It a Wild with 14 points, and Hollywood with 5.
Our team's lining up now, looking to start the second half of play. Nat Splat wearing the Jammer Star, and a power start here. It is an Ian's Pizza Power Jam as Quella DeVille is in the Delta Beer Lab change cage penalty box.
That is right. She was, I'm not lying, she was sitting there the entire halftime. That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
You're allowed to, at halftime, go visit with your team in the locker rooms as we're about ready to rejoin the action here at the Alliant Energy Center. Nat Splat on the power start. Nat Splat. You see the Res Dolls trying to isolate on a blocker You get lead jammer status for the Nat Splat on the Reservoir Dolls. Looking to put up some points here. Try to narrow this impressive gap by the quad squad.
And what's that? Quilla DeVille out of the penalty box.
So this will be the initial pass.
That's right.
Nat Splat approaching on her second scoring pass here. Contending with that wall of green. She's looking back, calling off the jam before Quilla DeVille can score any points of her own. Ends up being one more. So a 5-point jam for Nat Splat, you see right there.
You know what, Mumble? No game is complete without our United Derby official 608.
Right you are.
This crew of highly trained officials works with MRD teams to keep games play safe and fair. Get in on the action by joining United Derby Official 608, either as a skating referee or non-skating official. For more information, email officials@madisonrollerderby.org. You don't have to know how to skate.
We got Dark Horse jamming for the quad squad and Call It a While for the Reservoir Dolls. Dark Horse Clears is your lead jammer for the quad squad. Call It a While recycled back. You see trying to get through. Gets recycled again by number 7, Wendy You Wanna Die of the quad squad. 4 points so far for Dark Horse as she's making her way down the home stretch looking for more. Call It a While clears on the initial pass. Dark Horse on the second scoring pass, able to get 3, calls it off before Call It a While can score. 8 points for the quad squad.
That's right. Now lining back up on the jammer line, we have Hammer Abby skating, wearing the green, skating for the quad squad, and Holly Hood wearing black, skating for the Reservoir Dolls.
5 seconds till the start of the next jam. There are 30 seconds between jams. And we are underway here. Quickly through Hammer Abbey on the inside. A direction of play penalty on a Reservoir Dolls blocker. Holly Hood, the rookie out there, getting held up by that brace. And recycled on the outside is Holly Hood. Meanwhile, Hammer Abbey threw on a scoring pass. 4 points so far for Hammer Abbey. And Holly Hood tiptoeing on the outside, trying to get through still on that initial pass. This quad squad defense has been holding very nicely. Very tenacious defense.
It is a tenacious D.
Direction of play penalty. You cannot block in the clockwise direction. That's going to be on T-Rex of the quads, of the Reservoir Dolls. We get a star pass to the captain of the Reservoir Dolls. Miss Mechanics is now the jammer for the Res Dolls. Hammer Abbey's been racking up some big numbers here, 12 points so far. And Hammer Abbey quickly through again, calls it off. Did she get all 4 on the pass? I'm not sure she did. Yes, she did. She did get all 4. 160 to 56 on the scoreboard.
All right, let's talk about one of our sponsors, Terciap's Trincatus Studios. It's a local Derby-owned independent game design team bringing you fun games and fun gifts for the gamers in your life. Watch out for their upcoming Wreck 'em Up space opera, The Day We Fought Space, coming soon to a mobile device near you.
Raichu is jamming for the Reservoir Dolls up against, let's see, number 310.
Pied Typer.
Pied Typer for the quad squad.
Sorry, I could have helped you out a little bit more there.
Lead jammer.
That's right, and Raichu has her helmet cover off.
And through on the outside, got a little burst of speed there. As Pied Typer trying the inside now, getting through, calling off the jam. 4 points for the quad squad, extending their lead 164 to 56. We'd like to thank Hinckley Design and Productions. This is a Hinckley Design production. Thank you to our sponsor, quality commercial video production and live streaming video, bringing their A game since 2008. Hinckley Productions blows the competition off the track. Hinckley Productions. Hinckley Design and Productions.
I like Hinckley Design and Productions. They're good guys.
And girls.
And gals. And folks. They're
Yes,
good folks.
all the peoples.
Yep. All right, we've got Nat Splatt lining up for the Reservoir Dolls in black. She is skating against Quilla DeVille, who has taken lead jammer status in green.
Nat Splatt taking the star off her helmet, but she's still the jammer of record for the Reservoir Dolls as Quilla DeVille on the scoring pass, able to get through. 4 points so far for the team in green. You see Nat Splatt, the jammer, trying to skip the apex through for the Reservoir Dolls. She's going to don that star once again. Quilla DeVille turning around, getting through, lead, calling it off.
Calls it off. Great.
Another 4. Nat Splatt was coming in there. Nope, no more points for Nat Splatt. 8 points for the quad squad. You are watching Madison Roller Derby at the Alliant Energy Center.
Hello, and we're back. We're watching Madison Roller Derby. We're at the Alliant Energy Center, and we are watching the Reservoir Dolls take on the quad squad.
Right you are, Assassinate. As we line up for our next jam, let's see, we've got Kenna Vendetta out there for the quad squad up against Call It a Wild, who is your lead jammer for the Reservoir Dolls. Both jammers cleared on their initial pass, but Call It a Wild is lead.
Do you think Call It a Wild knows that Kenna Vendetta is right on her tail? Well, she does now, but...
She does now.
She does now. The answer to that question happened before I finished talking.
So both jammers have a scoring opportunity here. Both jammers scoring on this pass. Kenna Vendetta does get through for 4 points. Call It a Wild trying to spin, gets taken down. And there's going to be a penalty on the quad squad blocker for that one. Kenna Vendetta on the second scoring pass here, despite not having lead jammer. And let's see, Call It a Wild calls off the jam, but Kenna Vendetta wins the jam despite not having lead. You see Holly Hood out there for jamming. You see 2 blockers in the penalty box for the quad squad right now. We're looking at our penalties out there. So more penalties for the quad squad, just 2 more, 17 to 15 are the total penalties.
All right, back out on the track, we've got Pied Typer, who just took lead jammer status for the quad squad. She's skating against Hollywood, rookie Hollywood, who is skating for Reservoir Dolls in black. Hollywood still working her way through her first pass.
Pied Typer getting held up on this pass by that wall of black, but she bounces to the outside and through. 4 points so far for Pied Typer in the quad squad. Holly Hood got recycled back by number 8. That's Kentucky Fried Carnage of the quad squad. The pivot of the quad squad sitting on Holly Hood. And we get a star pass now to the captain, Miss Mechanics.
Now it's Miss Mechanics' turn to struggle against the wall of green.
Pied Typer's going to call off the jam. A nice 12-point jam for Pied Typer and the quad squad. One blocker down there for the quad squad, number 7, Wendy You Wanna Die, sitting in the Delta Beer Lab change cage. As we have Riot Chew jamming now for the Reservoir Dolls in black, and Hammer Abby is the jammer for the quad squad. She's got 73 points so far in this game. Impressive, leading all point scorers. But Raichu is your lead jammer in this one. Hammer Abby getting held up, taking off the star.
Is she gonna pass it to Dark Horse? No,
Nope.
but she
She does get passed by Raichu, who got through on one scoring pass. If you've been a Derby fan for a while, there is no longer a jammer lap point. Hammer Abby having some fun out there with Raichu, calling her a chicken.
All right. Who do we have out here? We've got Quilla DeVille skating for the Quad Squad. Gives a nice pre-jam hug to her.
Is that Nat Splat?
Nat Splat, yes.
And we're going to have a timeout called. Attempted call. Yes, a timeout called by the Reservoir Dolls.
This is a bear and bottle timeout.
Bear and bottle timeout. Let's see. Bear and bottle offering locally sourced pub food, innovative artesian cocktails, fine wines, and craft brewed beer. Bear and Bottle fuses West Coast freshness and flavor with Wisconsin tavern friendliness. Stop in for lunch, happy hour, dinner, or cocktails with friends, family, or coworkers today. Bear and Bottle is located at 601 North Sherman Avenue on the corner of Commercial and Sherman. Bear and Bottle.
Bear and Bottle. It is right next to Hartmeyer Ice Arena. And you know what's happening at Hartmeyer Ice Arena next month?
Oh, that would be the Utter Chaos,
Utter Chaos
event happening the 5th through the 7th of April. A huge travel team event in the WFTDA for the Dairyland Dolls. They're taking on Naptown. That's Indianapolis. You see how they do that?
Nap. I get it now.
They call themselves Naptown. Rocky Mountain out of Denver and Ann Arbor. I don't remember their team name, to be honest.
I don't.
The Ann Arbor Derby Dimes.
Derby Dimes.
Thank you. Thank you, Reaver. I appreciate that. Our producer.
Our producer, Reaver.
You can't see her.
You can't see her, but she's there.
Yeah. She's helping us out every now and again. As we're lining up for the next jam, we've got Nat Splat and Quilla DeVille.
That's right. Let's say one more thing about Reaver. If it sounds like I said something smart, it's because Reaver handed me a note.
Yeah. Quilla DeVille is your lead jammer for the Quad Squad. Nat Splat got recycled back still on the initial pass. Playing a little defense there. Gets a little hit on Quilla DeVille. And Alligator gets recycled, but okay, just a warning call out there for destroying the pack. Didn't destroy the pack. And Nat Splat trying the outside. Got recycled back by the pivot of the Quad Squad. And Quilla DeVille's going to call off the jam after scoring one scoring pass, 4 points. You are watching Madison Roller Derby. Good times.
All right, and we're back. You're watching Madison Roller Derby. We're on the second half of this bout between the Reservoir Dolls and the Quad Squad.
The Quad Squad. We got 196-64 as we have our teams lining up for jam number 9 of the second half. Call It a Wild, the jammer for the Reservoir Dolls. And that is Dark Horse jamming for the Quad Squad in green. Dark Horse is your lead jammer. She got through cleanly and legally, is awarded, you see the finger of power.
Dark Horse with 100% lead jammer percentage for the bout.
5 for 5, getting lead jam. She's going to call it off after one scoring pass. Another 4 points for the Quad Squad. They reach 200 points to 64. Looking to lock up the 2 seed for playoffs. As you see Hammer Abby wearing the cow print hat there. Helmet on coming off on the bench. As we have our teams lining up. We've got Holly Hood out there for the Reservoir Dolls. And is that the Pied Piper? Yes, it is Pied Piper for the Quad Squad jamming. And Pied Piper quickly bounces to the inside. Is your lead jammer. There's a multiplayer block in the pack. That's going to go against the Quad Squad number 796, Conan the Librarian. Holly Hood still trying to get through on the initial pass there. You see Pied Piper getting through on a scoring pass. Quickly calls it off. One scoring pass and calling it off. They're playing a very possession game here, calling off the jam after one scoring pass time and again.
Let's talk about Pabst Blue Ribbon. Proudly sponsors
like
Madison Roller Derby. So PBR yourself ASAP at a nearby concession, or if you're at home, from your refrigerator. What'll you have?
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Right, I will.
Now they have a light one.
In the blue can?
Yeah, the light.
Good time.
Yeah, what's it called? It's called like PBR or Easy or.
I don't recall. Off the
I
top
don't
of my
either.
head.
This isn't part of the copy. I am just talking now.
Nothing we say is official.
Nothing we say is official.
No, that's true. As we've got Raichu out there jamming for the Res Dolls. However, Dark Horse is your lead jammer for the Quad Squad. And Raichu going to the penalty box. I didn't see the call. Let's see. Cutting the track penalty.
The classic jammer penalty right there.
So we are on an Ian Pizza Power Jam for Dark Horse, who is racking up numbers. And she's going to call it off right away. Going to freeze that jammer in the penalty box. Raichu is stuck in the Delta Beer Lab change cage. As you also see Kenna Vendetta in the penalty box. We're looking at our penalties here. No one in real huge penalty trouble here. You fall out after 7 penalties, and no one has more than 3. We got a few over there on the Quad Squad side. Wendy You Wanna Die has 3. Sequin Destroyer with 3. Quella DeVille, the jammer, has 3. Hammer Abby on an Ian Pizza Power Jam, jamming, dealing with that 4-wall. You got a passive offense from the Quad Squad. It works out. Hammer Abby able to do it herself. Gets lead jammer status.
That's right. She's now coming up on her first scoring pass. Still on a power jam. Oh, I spoke too soon. Raichu is back out on the track.
She does not have the star on her hat. She has it in hand. As Hammer Abby's going to call it off after 1 scoring pass. They're looking to shorten the game here. They're calling it off quick. 30 seconds between every jam. The Quad Squad looking to bring it home here as they have Quella DeVille on the line up against Nat Splat for the Reservoir Dolls in black.
All right, kind of a powerful slow start, but everyone's working hard out there. That wasn't
able to find some cracks. Go ahead.
That's right. It was not handed to her, but she got through.
Quella DeVille now jumping into the outside.
That's right. Quella DeVille getting some help from her friends.
And quickly through Nat Splat. She's looking to her bench. Should she call it off? Yes, her bench does tell her to call it off. Ends up being a 4-0 jam in favor of the Reservoir Dolls. Nat Splat happy with that one. The Reservoir Dolls celebrating the victory there. As we're going to see Kenna Vendetta out there for the Quad Squad against Call of Wild for the Reservoir Dolls. 1 blocker down for the Quad Squad to start out this jam.
All right, on the jammer line, we got 13, Wolfie, going up against number 9, Kenna Vendetta.
Kenna Vendetta is your lead jammer for the Quad Squad.
That's right. Call of the Wild held back by the 3 Quad Squad blockers. Call of the Wild makes it through. Kenna Vendetta hits it and quits it.
Let's see, she didn't even get the full score there. 2 points for Kenna Vendetta. We'd like to thank Lauer Realty Group. Rink rash goes away unlike buyer's remorse. So make the smart choice, or instead of a smart choice, substitute smart pass with Lauer Realty Group. I was not supposed to read that part. Lauer Realty Group, thank you.
You're all good. You know what? You're doing a fantastic job.
Holly Hood is your jammer for the Reservoir Dolls.
That's right. We've got Pied Typer skating for the Quad Squad.
Let's see Holly Hood trying to push up. Pied Typer now tight. Just staying in bounds on the outside.
Wow.
Makes a run and through lead jammer, but she did get knocked out at the very end. She is lead jammer. Holly Hood is through, not lead jammer. You see the Quad Squad bench telling Pied Typer to call it off, and she does. A possession jam for the Quad Squad. I got to give Lauer Realty some more love. At Lauer Realty Group, the only truck and trailer you need is the one to move into your new home. Lauer Realty Group. I still feel bad about that. I didn't do that one good either. I quit. You're by yourself,
All
Nate.
right, cool.
All right.
Lauer Realty, get a house.
Get a house. Hammer Heavy is jamming now. Up against, I believe that's Riot Shoe.
That's right.
Riot Shoe's your lead jammer.
That's right. Hammer Abbey is through the pack, about half a track behind. Riot Shoe calls off the jam before Hammer Abbey can execute looks like an apex jump attempt right there.
Riot Shoe with 2 points there. She'll shrug it. Okay, she'll take it. As we line them up again, we take a look at the penalty box. 2 in the penalty box, 1 standing. If you're standing in the penalty box, that means you have under 10 seconds remaining on your 30 seconds penalty. You see Alligator standing.
All right, we've got Nat Splat and skating against Quilla DeVille. Quilla DeVille in green, skating for the Quad Squad. Nat Splat's in black for the Reservoir Dolls. Nat Splat scoots past Mickey Barrage, gets lead jammer status.
Quilla DeVille through on the initial pass. Nat Splat contending on the scoring pass here. Trying the outside and through. Let's see. She's calling it off. Did she do so before Quilla DeVille scored any points? No. 1 point for Quilla DeVille.
1 point. 1 point's better than 0 points.
Right you are. Assassinate as we see Nat Splat coming back to her bench.
Quad Squad has not scored for 3 jams.
Right you are, Assassinate, as Kenna Vendetta is going to try to remedy that. But Call It a Wild is going to try to keep the momentum going here for the Reservoir Dolls.
Let's see what happens in this next jam.
Kenna Vendetta just fighting her way through up the middle. Cuts to the inside, and she's through. Lead jammer status to Kenna Vendetta.
Call It a Wild still on that initial pass. Takes a shot from number 7, Wendy You Wanna Die of the Quad Squad.
Meanwhile, Kenna Vendetta scoring 4 points. Calls off the jam. All right, we're going to take a break. You're watching Madison Roller Derby. All right, and we're back. You're watching Madison Roller Derby. We are on the second half of this bout. The Reservoir Dolls against the Quad Squad.
The Quad Squad with a pretty nice lead here, 219-74. As we take a look at the action here, we got Holly Hood out there for the Reservoir Dolls. And let's see, I can't see who that is for the Quad Squad. Currently blocked by autocorrect, the referee there on the outside. Oh, that's Pied Typer. Pied Typer, your jammer for the Quad Squad. Pied Typer does not have the star on her head. And there's a little confusion there. She got a forearm penalty. So Pied Typer's going to the penalty box on a forearm penalty.
All right, she's going to the Delta Beer Lab change cage. This will be on Ian's Pizza Power Jam in favor of Holly Hood, who is your lead jammer.
So Holly Hood on the power jam here. I'm kind of curious if the Reservoir Dolls fielded a jammer this jam, or if they just had too many blockers on the track. I'm a little confused. We'll find out as we move along here. As Holly Hood, 4 points so far. So Pied Typer is coming back onto the track. She does not have the jammer star. So I think we're going to go without a jammer here for the Quad Squad. Although Holly Hood is now going to the penalty box, so I believe we have a jam with no jammer.
That's fun.
We just have some blockers standing around now because there is no jammer at all right now except Holly Hood, who is sitting in the penalty box. But you know,
it's not going to stop them from hitting each other.
You still they do that. This is what they do. It's like automatic. Cyanide is hitting. Is Pied Piper the jammer? They're hitting her like she is.
They're hitting her like she is.
She doesn't have the stars, so she can't score points. And that's going to end the jam. An odd jam there. Holly Hood was released from the penalty box. 2 points for Holly Hood. We're going to get an official review. I'm not sure who called it yet. We're looking at our penalties once again. Sequin Destroyer with 4 penalties for the Quad Squad. I think with only 6 minutes remaining, I think we're safe that all skaters will make it. I like Little Lebowski has a question mark penalty. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's talk about UDO 608. Those are our officials. No game is complete without our United Derby officials 608. This crew of highly trained officials works with Madison Roller Derby teams to keep gameplay safe and fair. You want to get in the action by joining a United Derby official 608, either as a skating official or non-skating official. For more information, email officials@madisonrollerderby.org. They are a team in their own right, Mumble.
Right, you are, Assassinate. They really are a team that they travel all over the country and sometimes the world and officiate tournaments all over the place. It's quite
on their own
own group. Well, not always on their own dime, but lots of times on their own dime.
Not everything I say is right.
Right, you are. This is an all-volunteer sport, and much of it comes out of our own pockets and every skater and official's pockets. An unfortunate thing of an amateur sport, but amateur sports are very popular around the country. As we look at the score, you look at the scoreboard there, look at the bottom, you see the blinking light by the Quad Squad that indicates they called for the official review. I believe that has something to do with their Pied Piper not being a jammer in the last jam.
Delta Beer Lab, this is a Delta, it's a quick hop, skip, and jump over the belt line by Innovation Campus near Exact Sciences. They are our penalty box sponsor. Expanding community through quality, local craft beer without barriers to gender, race, or sexual orientation. Everyone can drink their beers. They'll be opening the end of this March, end of February 29th. That's already in the past. They've already opened.
They're open.
They're open.
So we could go there now.
We could go there right now.
Let's go. Well, after the game. We'll go after the game.
We'll go after the game.
I agree with that, Assassinate. We see the zebra huddle. We were talking about the officials, the 608, the UDO, United Derby officials 608. You see them on the track now. We've got some guests, the referees from around the country as well out there.
Now I think they're just planning who's buying at the after party. I think that's what they're doing right now.
They're trying to figure out what happened with that last jam with
Nope, that's not true.
No?
Nope, they're talking about the after party.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure they're talking about that last jam.
Right.
That was confusing to me.
It was a little confused. I was a little confused. You see, is that General Chaos right there?
There's General Chaos.
Trying to roar up the fans. It's been a long day. We're winding down here. The doubleheader ends up being a long evening. We got 6:05 remaining. Aw.
Oh, there's a baby.
It's March. It's St. Patrick's Day. That's a redhead. It's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
St. Patrick's Day, a week away from today. I don't know when this airs on the cables.
If it is St. Patrick's Day today, it's on purpose. Quad Squad usually wears green, but they're especially wearing green extra hard today for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, we got a wave going. Things getting fired up here as this is an extended official review. We're 4 minutes into the review.
Bear and Bottle, let's talk about them. Offering locally sourced pub food, innovative artisan cocktails, fine wines, and craft brewed beer. Bear and Bottle fuses West Coast freshness and flavor with Wisconsin tavern and friendliness. Stop in for lunch, happy hour, dinner, or cocktails with friends, family, or coworkers today. Bear and Bottle is located at 601 North Sherman Avenue on the corner of Commercial and Sherman.
I like how the Reservoir Dolls are doing cartwheels with the wave. That's interesting. You see, we got kind of a smattering of the crowd. It's thinned out a little bit, but we got the playoffs coming up April 27th. We hope you come out for the playoffs April 27th, where we will see who will compete for Leggy. The Quad Squad are the defending champions. Lady Hoo-Ha with the worm. Keeping things loose and fun as we wait the officials. And we're ready to rejoin the action here. It appears the Quad Squad has retained their review, so they won the review. I don't, however, know what the review was at this time.
We'll tell you as soon as we find out.
As Riot Shoe.
Did you see that?
No, she was so fast I didn't see it.
That was amazing. It was a tippy-toe, like, run up the inside. Fantastic.
Riot Shoe is your lead jammer. Is that Hammer Abby hot on her tail, however?
That is hot. Hammer Abby hot on her tail. Riot Shoe calls off the jam.
So despite having that awesome thing happen.
That was fantastic.
Let's see. Did she got 3 points? No, she did not. She got beat by Hammer Abby. 3-1 in the jam. We've got Nat Splat lining up now for the Reservoir Dolls against Quella DeVille. A full contingency of blockers on the track.
That's right, both teams at full strength.
As we scrum out things. And an explosion from Nat Splat. Quickly through. Lead jam status goes to Nat Splat. Quella DeVille is going to the penalty box on a forearm penalty. You can use your upper arm, kind of like a check as in a hockey check. Those are illegal. You can use your shoulder, you can use your hips. You cannot use your forearms or elbows, or hands for that matter. And Nat Splat on a scoring pass here. Keeps getting recycled back, having a little trouble. That's right. Sequin Destroyer had a nice recycling hit. She's the pivot wearing that stripe. Nat Splat now weaving through, able to get through. That'll be 4 points as Quella DeVille comes out of the Delta Beer Lab change cage.
That's right. They say hi and then they hit the pack.
And Nat Splat, Spinorama calls it off. Another, I think, 4 points. I can't quite see. And yes, she did call it off. 8-0 in the jam. Lining up for jam number 22. Kenna Vendetta out there for the Quad Squad, and that'll be Call It a Wild for the Reservoir Dolls.
That's right.
Up against Wolfie, and Call It a Wild is going to be fighting against Walla Greener at front.
Call It a Wild has 2 jammers to pass. That last jam was the highest score of the half for the Reservoir Dolls. That was 8 points.
Kenna Vendetta clears, is lead jammer for the Quad Squad. Call It a Wild still on the initial pass.
Kenna Vendetta looks like she's thinking about calling it.
A high block out there, block to the head on the Res Dolls. And Kenna Vendetta is going to call it off. Let's see. Shaking her head. She's a little frustrated with that one. She did get 4 points. And you're going to have a micro pack in the next jam out there for the Reservoir Dolls. They only have 2 blockers on the track. And also only 2 blockers out there for the Quad Squad as well.
It's like an after-school pickup game of Derby.
Right. Like advantage jammers. We'll see which of the 2 jammers out there can take advantage. Holly Hood of the Reservoir Dolls or Pied Piper of the Quad Squad. So far, the defenses are doing well despite having small packs.
That's right, but Holly Hood makes it through, is your lead jammer.
Barrel roller, and let's see, is that Whiskey Chase her? able to hold off Pied Typer.
All right, quick shout out here to Rocket Betty Salon.
Yep, that's correct.
And Holly Hood's going to call off the jam on the scoring pass.
For all your beauty needs. Hey, Dolly,
3 points awarded to Holly Hood and the Reservoir Dolls.
awesome. Who's going to be making their way?
All right, we have about a minute and a half left in this game.
Very possibly the last jam here in jam number 24 of the half. That's a lot of jams and a half. The Quad Squad going to take home the victory here. I think we can call it 226-92 currently. It will go to the tiebreakers to see who will have to play against the who will get the 4 seed. It'll be tiebreakers between the Vaudeville Vixens and the Reservoir Dolls to see who will get the 4 seed, as Raichu is lead jammer for the Reservoir Dolls here.
All right, we will get another one, another jam.
Yes, we do have enough time, and everyone still has their bear and bottle timeouts remaining. We've only had 1 timeout called.
No, we don't, Nikki, but both teams have been playing great. It looks like the Quad Squad obviously.
We've got Quilla DeVille lining up for the Quad Squad on this, what might be probably will be the final jam of the game. Nat Splat lining up for the Res Dolls in black.
Those quick lead jammer statuses and 4 quick points here. They sure did. Yes, so this is our
Both jammers keeping their feet moving here. That Splat gets recycled back by number 8, Kentucky Fried Carnage, the pivot of the Quad Squad. Quella DeVille near the front. That Res Dolls, well, both jammers near the front. Who got lead? It's Nat Splat. Nat Splat of the Reservoir Dolls. The game clock has run down. However, this jam will go to its natural conclusion. You see that the second timer, 1:20 remaining in the jam. Nat Splat in control of the jam.
Quilla DeVille scores 4 points, coming up to score some more points here. Nat Splat calls it off.
And that's going to end the game here. Quad Squad are victorious. They will take the 2 seed as we head into the playoffs. And a little celebratory sight there for the Quad Squad as they are victorious 238-97. Quad Squad taking the victory here in commanding fashion. And those who viewed the game get, I believe, free ice cream.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken.
When there is a 100-point differential, if you're at the venue, you can bring your wristband or ticket or whatever to Chocolate Chop Ice Cream, get a free scoop.
That's a good time. A little bonus if you attend games here at the Alliant Energy Center. You see Hammer Abbey on the victory lap.
This is one of my favorite parts of a bout is when everyone goes around and high fives.
Get up close and personal with the athlete as you get to personally congratulate them on their victory, as you see the Quad Squad still making their way around. The Reservoir Dolls taking their consolation lap as well. The playoffs will be on April 27th, and Utter Chaos will be April 5th through 7th. We've talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah, but please come to that. Mumble will be there. I'll be there. We'll these skaters will be there.
Thank you so much for watching Madison Roller Derby here coming from the Alliant Energy Center.
Thank you very much.
I am Bryant Mumble.
I'm Assassinate.
Thank you.